In the meantime, we are a day away from those congressional hearings about GameStop and Robinhood. Our Kate Rooney has a preview of what tomorrow may bring. Morning, Kate.
Morning, Carl. The House Financial Services hearing is really the first time some of these major players will have to publicly address the GameStop controversy. The first big topic here, those halts around Reddit stocks in late January and the new phenomenon of social media and the stock markets colliding. We also expect to hear some questions about any conflicts of interest with hedge funds and market makers. As far as the cast of characters testifying, there's Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev, Ken Griffin of Citadel, Gabrielle Plotkin of Melvin Capital, and Reddit's CEO. We also expect to hear from Keith Gill. He's the only non-CEO on the list, and he goes by Roaring Kitty online. He promoted GameStop stock through some YouTube videos. Robinhood's 33-year-old CEO has come under by far the most public scrutiny in that group. This whole situation is seen as another big test for his company as they head towards an IPO. And among those advising him ahead of this hearing, there's former SEC Commissioner Dan Gallagher, who joined Robinhood about a year ago. Two of Robinhood's new top communications team members joined from one of its regulators, FINRA. One was also on President Obama's Treasury communications team. Robinhood has also reportedly hired Reginald Brown. He is a veteran congressional investigation lawyer. Analysts I've been talking to this morning and over the weekend really expect lawmakers to grill these witnesses, especially the CEOs, similar to what we've seen in the past with some of those big tech hearings. They also expect a lot of questions about payment for order flow and Robinhood's revenue model, but not a lot of real market structure discussion. Morgan, back to you.
Actually, Kate, one question from me, and just in terms of our audience, I mean, you went through the cast list. Is there any doubt that Vlad is the one that people will want to hear from the most? Or would you argue that there's equal interest in what Griffin or Huffman have to say?
I think there is a lot of interest in what Ken Griffin especially has to say. And some of the explanation to lawmakers, you had Elizabeth Warren come out this morning and say it's still not clear what Robinhood's relationship is with market makers. I think even the distinction between Citadel, the hedge fund, and Citadel Securities, which works with Robinhood, I think will be, of huge interest and sort of an explanation there. And then, of course, Melvin Capital. And I think the requirement here is a lot of explaining by those CEOs and to say, here is the situation, here's the setup in our revenue model. So I think for our audience especially, there's a lot of interest in Citadel. But of course, Robinhood so far has gotten the most heat from lawmakers.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious to hear what Keith Gill, a.k.a. Roaring Kitty, a.k.a. Deep Blank Value,
has the most
has
interest,
to say.
I think, in that.
I mean, given the fact that this became such a tidal wave of people getting involved and participating on Reddit, and I realize that he's been very prominent, but I wonder how that is going to be navigated, both in terms of how he's thinking about his testimony and also just in terms of the types of questions that are getting asked, because this was in many ways kind of a crowdsourced endeavor.
He is sort of emblematic of the whole Reddit crowd. I think they're bringing him on as an individual. He's an example of a broader trend in what we're seeing with this new phenomenon of people bidding up the same stocks on social media. So he may be an example of one person, but as you said, there are thousands of people like him, and if not like him, following him into some of these stocks. So I think he will be sort of the poster child of what they see on Reddit and what they see as a new landscape for the stock market.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.